Imagine you are running a licensed daycare business. You are interviewing a prospective family for the umpteenth time. And just before you say, I think your family is going to be a great fit, the mother quickly interjects, by the way, I'm sure this is no big deal, but we have chosen not to vaccinate our children. I'm sure that won't be a problem, right? Well, this happened to me, and you could have heard a pin drop. I believed after 30 years in this business, I had prepared myself for everything. But this question threw me through a loop. I was naive enough to believe that everyone vaccinated their children. Why wouldn't they? Because of this, I decided to research vaccines, beginning with their history. It all started with Edward Jenner. He was a British doctor who developed a vaccine against a contagious disease called smallpox. In Jenner's time, smallpox killed about 10% of the population, with the number as high as 20% in towns and cities where the infection spread more easily. Jenner is often referred to as the father of immunology. His work is said to have saved thousands of lives. Fast forward to 1920, in the US, diphtheria was one of the most feared childhood diseases, claiming more than 10,000 lives a year. In the 50s and 60s, polio paralyzed and killed children by the thousands. I had a cousin who contracted polio as a child, and consequently, he had one arm that was significantly shorter than the other. At one point, measles affected 500,000 children in the United States per year. Almost everyone at some point contracted them, with some causing complications. I will never forget when my older sister suffered complications from the measles. She contracted pneumonia and almost lost her life. She pulled through, but it was a frightening experience for our family. In 1963, John Enders and colleagues introduced a measles vaccine to the US. It has proved to be effective in 96% of the children who have been vaccinated against measles. After that scary experience with my sisters, I remember how excited my mother was to vaccinate my sisters and I against the measles. As a result, my siblings and I never contracted the measles. The mumps vaccine was recommended for use in 1967. It has been very effective. If a vaccinated person gets mumps, it is usually a very mild case with a headache, a fever, and a loss of appetite. However, those who refrain from getting a mumps vaccination can result in contracting meningitis, a permanent loss of hearing, and a myriad of other life-threatening illnesses. Why are parents so fearful of vaccinating their children? One concern is the side effects that can be experienced with the vaccine. The most common side effects, though, are mild, like soreness from the needle or a low-grade fever. Autism is not a side effect of vaccines. While it is understandable that parents can point to vaccines as a possible cause of autism, because the symptoms surface early in life when vaccines are given, there has been extensive research with no link found between autism and vaccinations. Hopefully, they will find the cause of autism soon, but it is not from vaccines. Our daughter had the next concern. She believed that too many vaccines would overwhelm her child's immune system. While it is true, we give more shots to babies now than we used to, the antigens in the vaccines are nothing compared to the antigens that babies and all of us encounter every time we take a breath. We must remember that vaccines give the baby a little bit of the infection, one that does not cause the infection, but allows the body to make antibodies so it's ready to fight. On October 1st, 2020, the World Health Organization stated, immunization is a global health and success story, saving millions of lives every year. On January 6, 2018, vaccines.gov gave the 5 important reasons to vaccinate your child. Number 1, immunizations can save your child's life. Because of advances in medical science, your child can be protected from more diseases than ever before. 2, vaccination is safe and effective. Vaccines are only given after long, careful review by scientists, doctors, and health professionals. 3, immunizations protect others you care about. When you immunize your family, it not only protects them, but also prevents the spread of disease to loved ones and friends. 4, immunizations can save your family time and money. A child with a vaccine-preventable disease can be denied attendance at school and daycare facilities. Some preventable diseases can result in disabilities and take a financial toll on the family. 5, immunizations protect future generations. Vaccines have reduced and in some cases eliminated many diseases that killed or disabled people just a few generations ago. For instance, children now do not need smallpox vaccinations anymore because the disease no longer exists. When considering the prospective parent's question, asking me to accept their child, I could not help but think about the measles outbreak at Disneyland in February of 2012. They were able to document 52 cases. The vast majority of the infected were those who were not vaccinated against measles, those who were too young for shots, and anti-vaxxers. That is precisely how you get an outbreak. What is unfortunate is the measles vaccine is one of the most effective vaccines in the world. While I respected the decision of my parents not to vaccinate, I could not put my daycare children at risk. The prospective parents understood and moved on. I strongly believe the benefits outweigh the risk when you choose to vaccinate. In closing, I would like to share a powerful statement found on vaccines.gov on the importance of vaccinating your child. If we continue vaccinating now and vaccinating completely, parents in the future may be able to trust that some diseases of today will no longer be around to harm their children in the future. Thank you. Now I just want to show you my audience. My family was supposed to be here and they developed COVID, but my husband is here supporting me, and I'm sorry that my kids could not make it.